Do you love all things social media, the latest trends, pop culture, and the occasional interview with your favorite influencers? Yeah, duh. Well, you're in the right place. This is The Influence, a social media podcast. And now, Abby Jean, she is so adorable, and my favorite ginger, Nate.
So I woke up this morning.
Oh.
I don't know how to use TikTok no more.
I know.
Sir, I cannot use my TikTok no more. Did you see my stories?
Yes, I did.
And did you see the comment? Someone commented, like, I thought that it wasn't going to, be put on anyone's For You page. That it just and then someone was like, why is this on my For You? And I was like, I don't know. I'm so embarrassed.
You tell me. Yeah,
I know.
It appears that they get pushed out like the same way. So I don't really understand it. But what else? You were able to promote the podcast, so fuck it.
I did. I did.
We'll take it.
But I'm like, oh my God, I didn't. It's just so funny. And then you open and it's like, you sent me the screenshot. It's like, it was like messages and then you have to hit I'm like, no.
It's all together.
Don't make this weird.
Contacts, activity. No, it just, two thumbs down from over here at The Influence.
Also, I used to be able to just go to the top and then switch accounts and go to the podcast one. And I can't do that anymore either.
I know. It took me 4 additional clicks to figure out. And I like to minimize my clicks.
I like to minimize my clicks. And you're just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
You can and I can't get anything done. So
I know. It's awful.
It's awful.
I don't like change. TikTok.
I don't either.
I'm still fairly new. So once I get that flow down.
You know what the best time in TikTok, were you on TikTok when, before celebrities were?
I remember when I first was lurking, there was an uproar from people this is the one platform we have with no celebrities, what the WTF?
The only celebrities that I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Lizzo and Doja Cat.
Know it.
They can
my
stay.
God, yes. Because what would we do without them? I mean, come on.
Lizzo will straight up just be like, this is my food. And then she'll eat. And Doja Cat will be like, I'm really high. What is this trend?
Yeah.
They're being totally real. They're not posting what all the bullshit we see on all the other platforms. Those two can stay. Everyone else must go.
Bye. Yeah. They will legit be no wig, no makeup. Lizzo will have her vegan burrito with vegan ranch and shit all over her face and real people. I have an update. We mentioned last week our top of the list interviews that we would like to capture for the podcast. I haven't even told you this yet though, but mine was Elise Myers. I originally sent an email to her management team in December. She had her PR team's email in her bio, so I took a leap and sent an email. They got back to me super quick and said, with the holidays coming up, we're not sure what the schedule looks like. Let's touch base after the new year. So I put a reminder on my calendar, and right after the new year went to follow up. Didn't hear back. Well, last week when we were talking, I was like, you know what? I'm going to follow up and email her PR team again. So we exchanged a few emails yesterday. They wanted to know our statistics, downloads, listens, demographics.
Yeah.
So I sent them all the info. We've been doing relatively good lately. So sent them all the info. And this morning I got a reply. And
shut up.
Well, I'm going to read it to you. Thanks so much for sharing all the information. We appreciate you thinking of Elise for this opportunity. but due to her current schedule, we have to kindly pass. We wish you all the best, and if anything changes on our end, we'll reach back out. All the best.
Hey!
Well, you know,
that makes me sad.
I know. When I saw the reply
But I get it.
so like quickly, I was like, and you know, when you
I
open an
know.
email,
That's-
you're anticipating, you just like scan for keywords. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
but totally get
that's
it.
okay though.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Imagine how
She's
many
probably-
requests she gets.
No, so
I
much.
know. I know. So perhaps in the future, she's not going to come off my list. I'll tell you that.
No, I believe in us.
I do too. What you got over there?
I was gonna say, you want to unbox? I get the
Yes.
Walmart beauty box. It's
Ooh.
$5 seasonal. So I get
love.
4 a year. They're $5 each, and they're always really fun and cute.
Hell yeah.
First up.
$5.
Liquid IV. I love this.
Love it.
Ooh, what are you?
A tube of some sort.
A tube of something brown and sparkly. Illuminating stick.
Ooh, okay.
Oh my god!
So
look
like
at
a
this
highlighter?
little tiny. Yeah, it looks more like it would be like a pretty eyeshadow. It's pretty dark.
Okay.
Look at this tiny Maybelline Superstay matte ink.
Ooh, I love it.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Nose strips.
Always can use
A-
those.
Dark brown eyeliner, which actually is the color that I wear.
Nice.
CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skincare Weightless Water Cream.
Mm.
And then you always
Interesting.
get a shampoo and conditioner, not your mother's. Smooth moves.
I love it.
Isn't that fun?
I love it.
For $5?
Do you set
Walmart,
any,
sponsor
like,
us.
Yeah, Walmart. We love your beauty boxes. Do you set any sort of like preferences when you sign up?
I think so, yeah. I gave them like my hair color, my eye color, my skin tone, my like things I don't want. Like I always say I don't want like I think I always say eyeshadow because I don't really wear
$5. Come on.
Yeah, so $20 a year.
Yes, please. That's worth just like the excitement of opening the box.
And the best part about it is like I never see them take the $5 and I never know when this thing's coming. And it's like today I just got home and I was like, oh, fun.
Love it.
I'm still doing that Walmart thing.
Surprise packages are the
Yeah.
best.
How do you feel about Will Smith?
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
You know,
I've had a wave of emotions about this.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's like the 7 stages of whatever,
Grief.
like grieving and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my thought is Jada like instigated the whole thing. I think that he would have laughed it off maybe more, but she probably like elbowed him or something and like, are you gonna let that happen? Because initially he was laughing.
He was laughing,
even
and then
for like 10 seconds after the joke had been told. And then it cuts back to Chris Rock, and then you just see the back of Will Smith when he's walking up the stairs. So there was a good like 15 seconds in there, and I just have a feeling that she was like, you get your ass up there.
They like show her and she like adjusts herself and kind of just like her face. But even, I don't know. You finish and then I'll go.
Well, I didn't know about the alopecia thing until I read articles the next day. So I was like, okay, it makes a little more sense. And apparently Chris Rock has like publicly, like she's been the butt of several of his jokes in the past. So I don't know if there's some existing things, you know, prior to Sunday night. But like I kind of get reacting emotionally, you know.
Yeah.
What my issue is that the producers of the show or the security did not intervene at any point, and that he was allowed to just sit there for the rest of the night and win his award. Like, I understand the voting was in and they know who the winners are, but in my opinion, he should have been escorted out and given his trophy and not been afforded the
honor of getting an Oscars
of getting up
on
on
the stage.
stage. Yes, and giving his acceptance speech. Like, security should have escorted him out as he was walking down the stairs after he did it.
Like, that's
Like,
what I
come
kept
on.
imagining.
It's physical
Even like
assault.
he walks up and he like pauses before he hits him.
Yeah. And Chris Rock was like, "Oh, what's gonna happen?"
He was
like,
yeah,
"Oh,
and then he was like, "Oh, Will Smith
uh-oh."
slapped the shit out of me."
Yeah. I thought it was like a closed fist, fucking jacked
No,
in
you're
the
like-
chin first, but yeah, it was really just like a.
But it's so interesting too, because like I used to follow hardcore the Red Table Talk.
Yeah.
This is like very much just my like from a bit like obviously I don't know these people,
Yeah.
but this is what I think. Did you hear about the quote unquote entanglement between Jada and that younger guy, August?
Yes.
Right. So
And
that
I
happened.
feel like in general, the relationship I feel is like they're like very spiritual. So I think they're like spiritually connected, but I feel like they're like loose sexually.
Yeah, and I think they've kind of said that, but like I think it's kind of like more her instead of him.
Yeah.
And so I imagine this is just me like
Yes.
I imagine at some point when they made this decision to whatever have this kind of relationship, like I feel like it came up like you aren't like standing up for me.
Yes.
You're not you know what I mean? And I think that
100%.
what is going on behind the scenes is like what made Will
Yeah.
act that way.
Yeah. It wasn't simply that joke being told. There was like
No.
so much more behind it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. And I think it's kind of interesting that they let him accept the award because then he
Same.
had to like figure out what to say.
Same.
And you know, everyone's been saying how like the numbers for the Oscars have been going down for years. But then did you see Jaden, the boy,
Yeah.
he tweeted or something like that's how we do it.
Oh God.
I was like,
Is it? Okay.
oh gosh.
Jaden.
I know.
Okay, so Jaden.
Jaden grew up with like Kylie Jenner and Jordan Woods.
Oh.
Yes.
Didn't
yes,
know.
yes. Oh yeah. So like when Jordan and Kylie's whole thing went down, it was like
Pick a
yeah.
side, Jaden.
Like because Jaden and Jordan grew up together. Like that's why Jordan went on the Red Table Talk.
Got it.
To talk about Tristan because they're like
Yeah.
family friends. I don't know. I think their family is just like I like Will Smith, but I just think
Me too.
it's like such a weird family dynamic. That
So weird. Yeah. I love and appreciate their openness and acceptance, and clearly the way that they raise the kids is very, you know,
fluid.
progressive. Yeah, fluid.
Yeah, I
Love
think
that.
it's cool. Also, I got a French manicure
Ooh.
immediately. I'd like to speak to your manager, and I would like a divorce before I even got married. Like I don't know what these things do to you.
But you turned
Immediately.
Karen'd yourself?
Immediate Karen. Like it's as soon as she was done, I was like, this is not gonna be good. This is not good.
But do you like it?
I do.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
a classic.
It makes your hands look weird, but like long.
Well, the listeners are dying for a shoulder update.
So I finally went to the chiropractor. Honey really like he was not gonna let it go.
Yeah.
And I was like, fine. So I made the appointment. It was very easy. Like, well, not really. Everything was like closed in my town, but I called them and this woman, Dottie, answered and she was like,
Dottie.
hi. Yeah, she's so cute. And she was like, be here at 9 a.m. It's $65 cash. We don't take anything else but cash. I'm like, you got it. And it looked like a movie set. Like you walk in, there's like that old carpet that you can picture, and then there's Dottie sitting at a desk with a whole wall of files behind her. Like they
I
haven't
love
gone
it.
paperless.
Yes.
Everyone's got a file.
The patient file with like the letter of your last name. I love it.
In the colors.
Yes.
And then like Dr. We'll call him Dr. M comes. Well, not, are they doctors? They're not doctors.
No, they're not doctors.
But he came around and he's like, "Wow, we got a freshie," like, you know. And I was like, "Oh God, this is just like, I'm horrified." So then
characters,
and then they really humble your ass because like my whole thing was like, how on earth am I? I shouldn't have driven myself there.
Yeah,
I was like, how am I gonna lay on this thing? I can't even like. I wasn't gonna be able to like. They the bed's like this and they go and then you grab on and then it brings you down.
Okay. Like you're
so you put your
elderly person. You can't no mobility.
Like there's zero weight on your body. It takes you down and then he like, you know, feels your back and I have like a very prominent spine.
Me too.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, here we are, this one right here." And then he's like, "Okay, we're gonna bring you back." Like I was like this for 1 minute, and then he's like, it's like makes this awful noise. I'm back to standing, and then he has me sit down on this thing, like at the end of the thing, and he's like, "Okay, like this, I'm just gonna tell you like what we're gonna do because we're gonna do it together." And I'm thinking, you're gonna be on me.
It's in some
it's so
fashion,
weird.
yeah.
Yes, because they have to put like their whole body into this.
Yeah.
So he like wraps my arms, he puts like a thing behind my back, and then like we both go down. And he's like on top of me, and then he's like, breathe in, breathe out, and then he just goes and like it was if
what popped first?
My body,
like where on your spine?
I can't even because I thought it would be like my spine.
Yeah.
Imagine like this part of my body, my torso, was a piece of glass, and he just shattered the glass.
Holy shit!
Little tiny cracks everywhere.
Wow.
And then he sits me up, and all I see is stars. And I was like, "Oh, I'm a little dizzy." And he's like, "No, that's good." And then like 30 seconds go by, and I was like, "Oh, all right, I feel great. What's next?" And he was like, "We're done. You know." And I was like, "No. Like I paid my $65 cash, sir."
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I was kind of glad because I would have gotten everything cracked.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not gonna do anything that doesn't need to be done.
Yeah.
He did like a little more massage thing. And then he just like did two other, like he pulled my shoulders in and then pulled them back.
Ooh.
But I was only in there for like maybe 15 minutes.
So that was what, like 5 hours ago? So how do you feel?
I feel okay. He said I would get very sore, so I have a patch on my back now.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing about it was the half hour that I was there from like sitting in the lobby to like leaving, people will just like bust in the door and they're like, "Is he here?
Oh my God.
Is he here?
Yeah.
Can they fit me in?" And I was like, one after another.
Yeah.
Just bust into this thing. And I kept looking at Dottie and I'm like, Dottie,
like what?
Like this just, and she's like, all day, baby. They just keep coming in because they canked up. And he just kept taking them in, kept one after the other.
Yeah, there's like definitely chiropractor people or not. I myself have never been.
Honey, like this is the only doctor that he goes to. He doesn't go to the dentist. He doesn't go to the regular. Like he has horrifying arthritis and he just lives with it. But the chiropractor, and he was telling me stories of like he would crawl. He would be so kinked up that he would crawl into these people's offices. And like,
my God.
I can't, this boy won't even like, he won't even wear flip-flops
Wow.
or shorts. And I'm like, you crawled into an office. He's like crying, Dottie.
Oh my God, Dottie, please.
And then they like load honey onto the thing.
Do you think it's from his work or like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I have very rarely seen him at work. Let's just say when we started dating and he was like, I'm a plumber. And I was like, amazing. This is very handy.
Yeah.
I imagined him going into people's houses and fixing their clogged toilets all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrong. He will like go to a new construction build and like completely pipe the whole house.
Got it.
So the one time that I did go with him to work, he was literally crawling into a hole that was like this big in the ground.
Very physical, hands-on, manual
Yeah.
labor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he gets all kinked up and Dr. M.
Fixes him right up.
Yeah. I just
Dottie.
think
I
it's
think
so
the
funny.
real star of the show here is Dottie, though.
100%. Sweet
Just
angel.
managing the flow of all the desperate, kinked up folk.
Literally.
Literally.
She was, just the whole thing. She's probably worked for him since he was
Opened the office.
open the office.
Yeah.
She knows everybody. Like I was going to be a couple minutes late because I live far away from everything. And I literally called her and I was like, hi, Dottie, it's Abby. I'm so sorry. I'm going to be 4 minutes late. She was like, oh, girl, it's okay.
We'll
Like,
be
it's
here
wild
all
out there. Yeah. And I came like whipping in. She's like, you must be Abby. You must be Abby. Honey said something the other day. I forgot what I said, but he was like, yeah, but that was like 20 years ago. And I like looked over at him with the dirtiest look. And I was like, no, it wasn't. And then I was like, oh my gosh, 20 years ago, I was 12. So like, yeah, it
20
did.
years ago was 2002. Nuts. Crazy.
That's nuts. Oh, speaking of that.
Yeah.
Please hold.
Please hold.
I want to make sure I get the names right because you know how I am. I've started watching The Dropout. The story about Amanda Holmes.
Tell me about it because I have no clue, but I hear great things.
I started watching like her trial. Like Honey and I, we have Dish Network in our living room, but we have like the 3 channels in our bedroom, and one of the channels is always like super good like true crime stuff, and so this was on there and I immediately was like, this is the most interesting shit I have ever heard.
Yeah,
because like we said, 2002 was literally 20 years ago, but like when you think about it, I mean, we were like technology was really starting to kick in and all this stuff. So anyway, she created this machine. And her machine would allow you to prick your finger and then put the blood into the machine in the comfort of your own home or like test your blood for cancers, diseases, what have you at home.
Is she a doctor?
She went to Stanford. She dropped out of Stanford early. So the whole thing is that she basically like created this billion-dollar company. She was listed as a billionaire. And she basically like forged a bunch of these documents. So she would go to Walgreens, CVS, what have you, and be like, look at all of this documentation. Pfizer's on board, all these big names that she literally just like took Pfizer's name and put it on a document and was like, look. And this is like a reenactment. It's actors playing out what happened. And there's this one particular person who's constantly asking her, I want to see the machine work.
Yeah.
I want to see it do this.
Yeah.
And she's always like, we will. And she just
tuned.
like, yeah. And then there's like this weird creepy guy that's like her lover who's much older than her. But in the trial, she literally like she's like, I didn't do anything wrong. And they were like, you forged documentation. And she's like, no, not really. Like I was talking to Pfizer. And they're like, that is legitimately not how this works.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild. Because
That's
she was
crazy.
like a nobody and then she was a billionaire. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden everyone was like, I think she fucked us over.
So did the machine ever like hit the market to be used?
The whole kicker was that like the machine didn't do anything.
Okay.
Like the
Yeah.
machine didn't test blood.
Right. But it would just say
And
like,
so
oh, you're good. Right.
yeah. So okay. It says the technology didn't exist. Theranos, despite all the flashy promises, wasn't actually able to run tests accurately in the device on a single drop of blood. 2 years after the company closed its labs, its charismatic founder Elizabeth Holmes and former company president Sunny Ball for fraud. So they raised all this money for this company, for this machine that was never going to do anything.
Wow.
Oh wait, she's getting sentenced in September, but she's free on a $500,000 bond. She like went to trial and then they postponed the trial because she got pregnant, and they were saying that like they didn't want her to be pregnant in jail.
Yeah.
This whole sketchy thing, but it was crazy because like, and there's this one particular scene that was so crazy. She is being interviewed as like Forbes, 30-year-old billionaire or whatever, and they're asking her all these regular questions, and then they ask her, do you have any secrets? and like she just looks at the camera and she like is visibly getting like upset.
Yeah, several.
Yes.
I had several.
Actually, I have huge secrets.
Let's look at our Facebook memories.
It always like frightens me.
Yeah, I'm like looking at it like 2012 road trip essentials, and it's a picture of a 5-hour energy, Lady Gaga CD, and a beef jerky.
Nailed it.
I was driving to Nashville to visit my friends.
That is so funny.
I love it.
Mine is a picture of one of the plays that I was in college, and it says, the fact that this picture of me is on every napkin holder in Cheney all over campus makes me want to crawl into a hole. And it's like
a cast
I don't
photo?
know. Yeah, it was like, I'll send it to you because it was when I had brown hair. It's so funny.
I'm so curious.
Yeah, I dyed my hair brown myself one year. But I remember going to like the dining hall, and my picture was on all the napkin holders, and I was like, oh my god.
That's amazing. Okay, I'm also sending you a picture, which you're probably going to be like, oh my god. But 7 years ago, 2015.
No, I can't look at this picture of you.
Oh, did I already send it to you before?
Yes, I have
Yeah.
it saved because I refuse to believe that.
Can you believe? Like, that is
No.
not me.
Nate, no. That
Not
is
the
your
same
older
person.
brother.
Right. That's Daniel Kelly.
That makes no sense.
But today, 7 years ago, was my first day back at work after having an alcohol-related stroke, learning to walk again, and still drinking, but trying to get my life back together. Today was my first day back to work after all that.
Oh my god.
So I said, so excited to be back to real life tomorrow. Thanks so much to everyone for all the support over the last few unexpected months, especially Nicole, JJ, and my mom. I love you guys so much. Wow.
That's crazy.
That is
7
crazy.
years.
7 years.
Does it feel like 7 years?
Everything is
Yeah.
flying by. So I guess like in the grand scheme of things, it does. Oh, okay. I'm not mad at your brown hair.
No, I actually like brown hair.
Yeah. Do you color? Do you do anything to your hair right now?
No.
No.
Like you can see this is old.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like some of these pictures I'm like 22. I don't know, 22 in, and I'm like,
Again, a decade ago,
I know.
almost. My mom just replied to our Instagram story and says, "Wow, I totally agree with your dad about the F-bomb, which has to be a first that I agreed with your dad."
I love it. I love it. Oh, that's perfect.
Too funny.
I love it.
Hilarious. Do you want to share a slop kebab?
Oh my God, let me think.
Okay. Or I
Oh my
can,
God,
and
it
you
was
can
just
go
like
next week.
years of.
I
Yeah,
know.
you do
It's
one.
like, oh,
It was just years of fucking bullshit.
yeah.
God.
Slop kebab. Yeehaw!
Yeah!
I was like looking through the list of sound effects and I was like, what could we like, how could we brand our slop kebabs?
Literally,
And I was like,
me listening to it, and I go, which, oh my God, was that me
what?
or Nathan? Which one of us was that? And I was like, oh, it's a soundbite.
Oh, I loved it. So we will stick to that with our slop kebabs.
I love it.
But I was, I'll say it was in my first apartment at OU. So I was a junior in college, so 22, I would say. And
22
yeah.
as a
right?
junior?
Yeah.
I was young, though. I was young. I didn't turn 21 till
let
my
me think.
senior year.
Yeah. I always get confused because I went for 5 years. So.
Oh, so you were either 21 or 22 then.
Yeah, I think I was 20, like just turned 22. So I had a car on campus for the first time. And as I'm sure with most college campuses, parking is freaking strict and
The worst.
tight. And you got to have a damn pass for every parking spot on campus. So somebody freaking was parked in my spot one night getting home from a night out, and I'm not proud to say that I was driving under the influence, but I get home and someone's parked in my spot. So I'm like, well, I gotta make do
park
here.
somewhere.
Yeah. So I continued the chain and parked in someone else's spot. Or so I thought. So I had planned to get up early to this was Sunday morning. College kids were going to be sleeping in. So I had my alarm set for like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I was going to get up early, move my car, take care of business, whatever. So I get out to the parking lot and my car's gone. And I'm like, you are kidding me. My first reaction, of course, is, well, shit, I got towed. I was parked in someone's spot.
Yeah.
So, there's the sign, violators towed, at your own risk or whatnot.
Yeah.
Call this number. So I called the towing company and they're like, no, we didn't take any cars from that lot. Actually, in like the last 2 days. So I'm like, like what's happening? Right. So I'm like, okay, someone stole my damn car. So hungover as all get out Sunday morning, like sweats, sunglasses, can't like function.
Yeah.
Call the freaking police, Athens, Ohio Police Department. They get there, we're like looking for broken glass, filling out a police report, go through the entire process.
Oh, no.
He like gives me his business card and like they're on the case now. They're on the lookout for a red Honda Civic coupe. So like literally as the cop is pulling out of the parking lot, I like look over and my fucking car is parked behind like a big van, and I just couldn't like see it. It just in like a spot that I thought I had parked in and didn't. And it was there the whole time, parked behind
my
a van, like a perp van, no windows,
Yeah.
white,
Yeah.
mysterious van. So here I am standing, like cop's business card in my hand. And I'm like, mother, I'm going to have to call this police
Yeah, 'cause you
officer.
have to tell 'em it's
yeah. Like,
they're gonna pull you over.
Call off the search,
I found it.
I found it. So I call him right away and I'm like, officer, hi, I'm so sorry to waste your time, but I guess I parked in a spot that I didn't remember, but my car is here. I'm standing right with it. And he's like, I could hear like a grumble in his voice.
Because he's like,
Yeah, he knew exactly what was up.
yeah.
So he had to like circle the block. He pulls back into the parking lot and we had to like finalize the report. I had to sign off that like, my car is here, and just humiliating experience.
Oh my, did he say
Yeah.
like, be careful?
He didn't.
Kid.
Which, he didn't. There was no lesson to be had by the
No.
officer. But I will say, like, after that is when like consequences of my drinking started popping up more and more. I would say that was probably like the first big consequence. But of course I didn't take it as like a learning lesson.
No,
I was
really,
like, get a load of this. It was like a party story the next night.
There it
Slap
is.
kebab.
And it was red.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
right?
gosh.
A red, and it was like new, so it was freaking shined up bright red.
Yeah.
Right next to a
Stuck up.
white van. Yep. Still couldn't see it.
Couldn't see it.
Couldn't see it.
Oh my gosh. College was like such a weird time to even think about.
Complete blur.
Yeah.
I will say, for
Yeah.
sure.
It is like, I don't remember like doing any homework, but I did. But like, I don't
either.
remember doing
I really
any
don't.
work whatsoever,
None
But
at all.
like, I did it.
Yeah.
I got like
apparently.
okay grades,
I
but
don't
like,
know.
I don't recall.
I don't recall. Mm-mm.
And like, I don't remember like any tests.
Yeah, with the exception
must have
of
taken
like,
some.
I had to have taken some. I remember the anxiety of like building up to go like take finals and stuff, but I don't necessarily remember like the stuff that I studied, and like with the exception of like maybe 1 or 2 business classes or like HR stuff that like I perhaps still use. My retention is very little.
I remember, I was just at the theater like all the time.
Fun. Theater
Dance
girl.
performances, theater performances.
So fun.
Like, I just loved it.
Were you
One of
getting lead roles and shit?
Yeah, it was funny. So the first play that I did, I don't know. I was like in a theater class, and then I was just like, oh yeah, I'll be like, and I was a small part. I played this like drunk person, and I just knocked it out of the park.
Of course.
Like, they were like, oh my gosh, you're so funny. This is great. And I did like, I remember each night I did like a little ad-libbing, and they were like, wow, this is so good. And then the next play that came out was called Born Yesterday. And I heard about it, and I was like, I have to be Billy Dawn.
That part's for me.
And like, I watched, it was from like the 50s, and I watched the original, and she had this like high pitched accent, and I was like, I'm gonna go in there with that exact accent. I'm gonna nail it. And I did.
Oh.
And then even like when we were rehearsing, he was like, you don't have to do that accent. And I was like, oh, but we are, and we will. And I remember my first line was, and like our set was really amazing, and I like had all these like fun clothes. And the first opening line was, my husband in the play was this guy Brock, and it was like this big lacrosse player who like randomly decided to audition. He was like, I'm gonna put down my lacrosse stick and be a star, baby. And he nailed it.
I love it.
And my first line was him saying, like, Billy, like, how much do you think I paid for this hotel room? We're in this van. I said, $235. You already told me.
Oh my God, I love it.
And I'll never forget. I talked like that the whole $235. You already told me.
Yeah, he told me.
And
Oh
I
my
talked
God,
like that the whole
is
time.
So good.
Oh, Brocky, you're just so cute.
Oh my God. You're a
And,
born
like,
performer.
Oh, it was just everything. And I cut my hair short. So I had like the little curly hair. And yeah, I like had to sing, but like it was like comedic singing.
Yeah.
And then so the show ran all weekend, and I mean I think I like nailed it. I could watch
I'm
back and be
sure
like, oh
you
my God.
did. Is there video footage of this?
I'm thinking, I'm like, I have got to get a hold of this because it was just so good. And the next semester, so it was like, this was like the next semester I was in like kind of like a fluff class. It was like a anatomy and physiology class. And I remember the teacher was like partnering people up, and they were like, Abby Jean, you're with Jessica. And I like looked over to like wave at this stranger named Jessica, and she goes like this. And I was like,
listen here, bitch.
And I was like, oh my God, Jessica's really fucking mean. This is really terrible. So like I walked over and I was like, hey, Jessica, like I saw your reaction and she just looks at me and she goes, oh my God, you don't talk like that, really? And I was like, what? She was like, I had to go to your play for like a stupid class, and I thought you really talked like that. And I was like, I cannot work with her. And I was like, oh no, I talk like this. She was like, oh, okay, cool.
See, you nailed it. Had Jessica fooled.
Yeah, fuck you, Jessica, by the way.
Yeah.
Hi there. Thanks so much for listening today and supporting the show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button now so you never miss an upload. We're back every Monday with new episodes available wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Also, follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Social Influence Pod for the latest updates on the show and to let us know what influencers you'd like to hear from. Head over to iTunes to rate and review The Influence, a social media podcast, and we'll see you next Monday for another peek behind the upload.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now. This is the motherfucking new podcast.